Hi everybody, Matt and Tom back with you. Today we're at Lawnswood Cemetery, which is just on the outskirts of Leeds. This is a 1875 opened Victorian graveyard with 100,000 people buried here. Now we're going to have a look around the graveyard. We may find some nice old Victorian style gravestones here, but we're looking for one in specifically known as Ethel at the Gate. So there are some stunning sculptures amongst this incredibly well looked after graveyard. However, it is a graveyard still in use. Behind me is the crematorium, that building there. Unfortunately, we've also arrived as there is a funeral, so we won't go any closer that way. We'll keep having a look around. We haven't found Ethel yet. So we've just found another gravestone that's here. It's one of the more elaborate gravestones in this cemetery. So this is a gravestone for Sam Wilson, who died in 1918. Look at it, it's amazing. Fortunately, it's right where the sun is behind it, so it's not easy to see everything, but there we go. Amazing skull. So I haven't researched Sam Wilson, I can't tell you who he is at the moment. But if I can find anything out, I'll stick it on. Yeah, it's really tricky to film it, I'm sorry. The light is not in a good spot. It's an amazing one. Okay, so apparently Mr. Wilson was an art and sculptor collector who gave a lot of his work to Leeds Art Gallery. Tom's had a look for him, so yeah, explain the elaborate gravestone. Once again, it's not very easy to film with the sun directly on us. There's a fabulous building here, which I think is like maybe a memorial garden. Looks like there's loads of tributes on the wall. Have a look as we get a bit nearer. So apparently it's Lawnswood Cemetery, columbarium. That is what's inside. just hundreds of tributes. Amazing.
She will always carry on. Something is lost, something is found. They will keep on speaking her name. Some things change, some stay the same. Keep beckoning to me from behind that closed door. The maiden, the mother, and the crone that's grown old. I hear your voice coming out of that hole. I listen to you, and I want some more. I listen to you, and I want some more.
Okay, so in the distance we can finally find Ethel at the gate. Okay, so this is Ethel Preston, born in 1861, died in 1911 at the age of 50. She was married to Walter Preston, and they live at the Grange in Beeston, which is now demolished. This is a replica of the entrance to the Grange. And when Ethel died, Walter commissioned his great nephew to come up with this marble sculpture of Ethel. Now she is the exact same height she would have been. She's wearing the same clothes she would have been wearing at the time. And as you can see, she's not particularly happy, because the story behind why she's like this in front of an open door is quite a sad one. So in 1913, this statue appeared here at Lawnswood Cemetery as a tribute to Ethel from her husband. And she stands here next to marble doors that are slightly open, because the idea is that when her husband also passed away and joins her, the doors will be sealed and they will be together in eternity. However, that's not quite how it went down, because in 1913 Walter Preston actually ended up marrying his 22-year-old housekeeper. So really, he carried on with his life and moved away from here. So Ethel still stands here today with those doors open. Now it seems it's possible that he was eventually buried here when he passed away about 25 years later. But then if he is, why didn't they close the doors? And there is a rumour that Walter Preston was a bit of a womaniser and would quite often go missing. And when he did eventually return home, he would find his wife here, probably looking very forlorn like she does here, waiting for him. So is this the vision that Walter had? Did he put this up through his guilt at not being there? She really does have a very powerful stare, and people have described there's certainly a presence, though not an unpleasant one, in this location. When this appeared in 1913, it became an instant visitor attraction. Thousands and thousands of people took trams from Leeds city centre to come here to see it. It was so popular that they ended up building a cafe nearby for refreshments for visitors, and the police had to come to look after the crowds so that they formed an orderly queue. There is a sign here. These are the inscriptions that are on either side. Yeah, you can see on these pictures, hopefully it might be a bit dark, queues of people back in 1913. Finally, the flowers that are constantly found in Ethel's arms are replaced regularly and have been in her arms for many years, and nobody knows who puts them there. So 110 years after this statue was built here, obviously we don't have the thousands of people flocking here, but it still regularly appears on lists of curious gravestones in the UK. So it's good to come and find Ethel today. Tom and I have both had very different feelings about the statue. I felt quite an overpowering sadness being here. Tom hasn't really.
I feel something to do it. I don't know. It seems a very grand gesture to do this memorial, and he must have loved her, or felt a lot of guilt.
One or the other. Okay guys, from Lawnswood Cemetery, from Tom, myself and Ethel. We'll see you soon. Bye for now.